Hello and welcome back to 10-Minute English Lessons with Alex. This is episode number 27. In today's video, we are going to practice talking about how you feel, talking about your emotions, using adjectives that end with ed and ing. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button below and the thumbs up button. That way you get all of the new videos as soon as they come out. And to the new students who have just joined us for the month of April, welcome to the channel. I hope you enjoy. Okay guys, without any further ado, let's get over to the classroom and get started with today's video. Okay, let's get started with the lesson. So today we are going to discuss what is different and what is the same about adjectives that end with ed and adjectives that end with ing. If you are not familiar with what an adjective is, make sure you watch this video here. It will really help you with understanding the video today. Now, just as a quick review about adjectives, basically, an adjective describes something or describes a noun. For example, tall building, fast car, a big hamburger, a large monkey. All of these words, big, fast, large, tall, these are all adjectives. However, today we're going to talk about adjectives that end with ed and adjectives that end with ing. Now let's take a look at some examples of adjectives that end with ed. For example, disappointed, or amused, or shocked, or surprised. All of these adjectives are telling about how someone feels, and they have ed on the end. Now we could take a look at some adjectives that end in ing. For example, confusing, or frightening, or interesting, or surprising. These adjectives as well tells you about how someone feels. Now don't worry, I will go into great detail, and by the end of this video you will fully understand what's the difference between a regular adjective and an adjective that ends with ed and an adjective that ends with ing. First, let's look at that regular adjective. If you see something like tall building, or fast car, or big hamburger, these adjectives are not telling you how you feel, they're just telling you what you see, and you're describing to someone else. But they're not telling you how you feel. They just tell you what you see. However, adjectives that end with ed and ing tells you how you feel. That is a really big difference that I want you to understand about today's video. Now, of course, let's look at some definitions and examples to better understand this. First, let's look at adjectives that end with ed. Basically, adjectives that end with ed, like I said, they describe an emotion. They tell us how people feel about something. For example, I was bored in English class. I was bored in English class. So this is telling other people how you felt when you were in English class. I was bored in English class. Now some of you might be thinking, okay Alex, I got it. If an adjective ends in ed, it means something that happened in the past, or feeling that you had in the past. That is not necessarily true. And I'll give you an example. I was shocked by the man's action in the park yesterday. I was shocked by the man's action in the park yesterday. Now, in this example, yes, I am telling you about something that happened in the past, about a feeling that I've had in the past. But I can also say, I was shocked what people do in the park every day. So in this sentence, yeah, maybe I was shocked about something I saw yesterday, or maybe I saw something last week, but Maybe I'm shocked at something I saw today, and perhaps I might be shocked about something in the future as well. So it is not necessarily true that if you use an adjective with an ed, it's about something that happened in the past. Because it can also be used for something that happens now or something that happens in the future. Please don't worry, I promise by the end of this video, I will explain everything clearly and you will fully understand. But before we get into our examples, we have to look at adjectives that end with ing. Adjectives that end in an ing, they describe the thing that caused you to have that emotion. For example, boring English lessons make me feel sleepy. So in this example, because the English class was boring, it caused me to feel sleepy. Okay, so here's a little trick. Adjectives that end in ed comes first, and adjectives that end in ing comes after the action. Let me show you here. For example, I'm really interested in surfing. I'm really interested in surfing. So here, interested comes first and surfing comes last. But if you change that around, surfing is really interesting. Do you see the difference there? So the first one, I'm really interested in surfing. But the second one, surfing is really interesting. Or how about that second one? Rush hour traffic is really annoying. Or if you switch it around, I'm really annoyed by rush hour traffic. Okay, let's try another example here. I get embarrassed when singing in front of others. I get embarrassed when singing in front of others. Now you can change this around to singing in front of others is embarrassing. So you see the difference here. The first one, I get embarrassed when singing in front of other people. But the second one here, singing in front of other people is embarrassing. You really do have to change the ed and the ing to make your information clear. All right, let's take a look at another example. I was surprised when I won the lottery. I was surprised when I won the lottery. Or, when I won the lottery, it was surprising. When I won the lottery, it was surprising. So the first one, I'm telling the adjective first, the adjective with the ed. I was surprised when I won the lottery. But in the second one, when I won the lottery, it was surprising. So again, if that adjective is in the front, you want to use the adjective that ends with an ed. If the adjective is in the back, you want to use the adjective that ends in an ing. All right, let's take a look at another example. I got annoyed when I couldn't find my car keys. I got annoyed when I couldn't find my car keys. Or you can say, I couldn't find my car keys. It was annoying. I couldn't find my car keys. It was annoying. Now the biggest difference here is what is more important that you're trying to tell someone. So if we look at the example about the lottery, if you say, I was surprised when I won the lottery, then the most important point here is surprised. But if you switch it around, when I won the lottery, it was surprising. So whichever one you use first, you're putting the emphasis on that point. So for the first one, I was surprised. The surprised is the most important thing, and winning the lottery was the second important thing. But if you look at the second one, when I won the lottery, it was surprising. So in the second one, winning the lottery was the most important point. So basically, when using adjectives that end in ed and adjectives that end in ing, whatever you want to make the most important point in your sentence when you're telling someone, that's the adjective you must think of. So again, for that number 4 example, I was surprised when I won the lottery. If you put the adjective first, you're trying to say that feeling was the most important thing to you. But if you put the adjective last, you're trying to say whatever happened was the most important to you. That's why you feel the way you do. All right, guys, I hope you understand that. If you do have any questions, like always, you can put them down below. And for my in-class students, I will see you first thing Monday morning. Until the next time, aloha, guys.